Hello out there, Batty Lashes here again, and it's time for another watercolor time lapse. Today I'm painting a whale inspired by the viral sea shanty Wellerman. If you've somehow missed this internet phenomenon, I will provide a link to the song in the description for context and reference while I talk about it in this video. I actually painted two versions of this, and even though the first one is a massive fail, I will show it, albeit in super turbo hyperspeed, a lot faster than I usually edit, because I believe in full disclosure and showing the realities of being an artist. My original idea was to make the colors really dreamy and fanciful, since I interpret the lyrics of this song as being about a mythical ghost whaling ship, tethered to this stubborn whale for all eternity, their only respite coming from the Wellerman, a kind of supply ship that would provide whaling ships with the refills on their provisions. But sometimes you just have to admit that an idea works really well in your head, but on paper it just looks like a pile of rotting whale blubber. It was somewhere around this point where I decided that, you know, enough is enough. I gotta let this one go, and I started working on the concept for the new version, and I ended up scrapping this one completely, but you get to see me waffle on for a couple more seconds. So now on to the improved version of the whale. I went for a more realistic color scheme this time, using Payne's Gray mostly and some Prussian blue. I started out with some masking fluid and a nib pen to create the outlines and a ton of scars along this whale's body. Cause this girl's seen some stuff, you know? Once the masking fluid was dry, I mixed some diluted black and blue liquid watercolor and painted the whole paper with that as a base. Then I went in with a layer of Payne's Gray all over the whale's body as a base. I really like the way that the base color kind of shines through in some places here. It looks like the water is kind of reflecting blue on her, and I think that looks really cool. I wanted the lyric, but still that whale did go in the painting, so I went in with masking fluid again to write that, so it would be that base blue in the end. I also added some lines in the water for texture and a flowy feel to the water around the whale. Then it was just a matter of layering that Payne's Gray until I was happy with the tones of the whale's body. I worked wet on wet and used a more concentrated paint in some areas and diluted it a bit for others to get a sort of patchy, natural looking skin effect. The song Wellerman, or Soon May the Wellerman Come, is thought to originate from New Zealand in the mid-19th century when whaling was a big thing. Though popularly referred to as a sea shanty, it's actually a whaling song. The tonguing in the lyrics is part of the slaughtering process once a whale has been hauled. A sea shanty would have originally helped sailors to keep time, to pull ropes, or to row in unison. Wellerman is more of a folk song in the style of a shanty, but may well have been sung while hacking away at a massive whale carcass. You know, to keep the spirits up of the poor sailors that had to hack through all that flesh and fat and stinky and... ugh, what an awful business to be part of. If you're not already following me on Instagram, I recommend that you go in and take a look. @BattyLashes_art. I post a little bit more frequently than on YouTube, and you get a lot more behind the scenes and sketches and just sort of the day-to-day musings and sketchings of an artist. So go on and follow me. I appreciate it. For the background, I use pretty much the same technique as for the whale's body, just sort of on a larger scale. I worked wet on wet, blending, blotting, and splattering Prussian blue kind of wherever I felt like it. I concentrated most of it at the bottom of the picture to show the ocean's depth, and also around the whale's belly to give some shadow around her. And now that everything is dry, it's finally peeling time! Yeah, peeling off that masking fluid. I carefully got rid of all those little bits of latex, and then I also went in with an eraser to erase any pencil lines that might still have been visible underneath. The theme of this painting is perseverance, just like the whale of the song is eternally towing the Billy of Tea along with her tormentors. Which is why the harpoons and lines are an essential detail. This whale ain't letting these sailors stop her or control her. She gonna go, bruh. But she's clearly been through a lot previously too, with all those scars and tattered fins. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger and all. Strong enough to basically hijack a whaling ship even, I guess. Next is my friend the white Posca pen to get some glitters and micro bubbles and highlights around the waves and around the whale's body. I neglected to film myself painting the blood on for some reason, but the red tones do break up the blue really nicely. But whaling was brutal, y'all. New Zealand banned the horrible practice in 1965. Coincidentally, this was the same year that a musician named Neil I can't say this, Colquhoun? He published the first recording of Wellerman after hearing it sung by an old man who had had it passed down to him. So thanks to this 60s folk musician, we still have the melody to this fantastic ancient shanty-style song. The melody probably would have been lost to time if Mr. Colquhoun, Mr. Neil C, if he hadn't had the habit of recording old folk tunes. So thanks, Neil! Well, here she is, the magical, mythical whale that pulled her hunters over the seas for all of eternity. I'm really glad that I started over and went with this new color palette. I really like the result. Anyway, as always, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this history lesson. I hope I could inspire you, and I'll see you next time. Bye!